You guys can ask your questions in the chat box.
Also need to understand that the acquittal rate is very low in India. So the chance of having an acquittal is very high. So not granting bail or not granting certain rights to the accused persons under this act is a little draconian because the ramifications are very wide. The statements recorded under this act are judicial confessions and can be read against a person, including the statements in his favor, because Section 50 is very clear on this aspect. So this is the thing. So we need to understand it's a very technical act. So it's better to read the recent judgments, because every other day all the high courts, be it Madras High Court or other high courts, are giving various judgments under this act. And the Honorable Supreme Court, the law is ever developing, and also the legislature, in order to strengthen the arms of this act, is introducing amendments every year almost. So we don't need to go out of this act. We need to stay in this act because it's a code in itself.
Ma'am, do you think ये जो act है, like it is sufficient है? जैसे आजकल इतने सब money laundering के बहुत सारे तरीके बन चुके हैं. So do you think this act is sufficient to curb that?
This act is well sufficient. It has a lot of powers of the investigating officer, because if you give the power that the predicate offense is not required and you arrest a person directly, then there might be some arbitrary decisions on part of the ED to keep a check and balance on the investigating officer also. I think it's a very important aspect that only when a predicate offense or the main offense is registered under an act, an illegal act, because as we know, money laundered is what? It is from an illegal activity the money is received. So if there is no illegal activity, then how is the money laundered? It's as simple as that. There has to be an illegal activity in order for the money to be laundered. So first, the investigating officer needs to prove that there is an illegal activity, that activity has happened. If that activity goes, then the laundering of the money goes.
So do you think ये INX media case में कोई political connections हैं? Basically,
let us not go into political question answers in this stage. It's a matter before the Honorable Court, and it's for the court to decide how to take actions on that. The matter is under sub judice.
What are your views on this INX media case?
The matter is sub judice. My view as a lawyer is the matter is sub judice, and it is, as defense counsels, we can do best is by representing our client and putting our heart and soul by getting him out. That's as a defense counsel. Now, as an ED counsel, because I'm on the panel of DLSA, as an ED counsel, also the mindset would be to manage more and more convictions. So there are two sets of lawyers, either prosecution oriented or defense oriented. So the mechanism of a lawyer is he's able to switch sides as swiftly as possible.
So, all right, let's not stick to P. Chidambaram case. And now, are there any latest cases on money laundering?
Yes, there is a latest case as late as 2020 March. Seema Garg versus Director ED Punjab. Now, it's a beautiful case where it deals upon Section 3 and Section 5 of that Act. It says the safeguards of that Act. It says that what are the safeguards? When can a Deputy Director pass an order of attachment? And what the reason to believe is not on any random Tom, Dick and Harry reason. There has to be sufficient reasons to believe. Just because there are certain evidences, you cannot have reason to believe and attach a property rampantly. So that judgment is a very important judgment. It was passed a few months back, only March. Seema Garg versus Director ED Punjab, passed by Honorable Punjab and Haryana High Court. It's a beautiful read.
The 2019 Act broadens the powers of the Enforcement Directorate to arrest even without the report or registering an FIR. Is it not
No,
arbitrary to provide such wide and discretionary powers to ED?
definitely, definitely. Hence, the few petitions pending. So the in my opinion also, because the laundered money comes into aspect only when there is an illegal activity under the schedule offenses. Now, if the power is given that without an FIR you can register in ECIR, so there is no scheduled offense, there is no offense created, and any money you claim it to be laundered money is a little difficult. So I think the specified section is under challenge.
So, all right, ma'am. Now, is money laundering be a civil or a criminal case?
It's both. Now, the attachment proceedings are that of a civil court proceedings before the adjudicating authority and has all the power of a civil court, be it discovery, inspection, and other things, recording of statements. But once a complaint is filed, the matter goes to the special court as given under this act. Now, that special court will follow the guidelines of a sessions trial enumerated in our CRPC. Now, sessions trial is completely different from a magistrate trial. The scope, the opportunity is much higher. So, PMLA criminal trial will fall under a criminal trial of the special court under the CRPC, which is a sessions trial.
We have a question from Vidyanshu Krishna. What is the difference between issue of attachment of property between Prevention of Money Laundering Act and Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code?
Insolvency and bankruptcy code is different, and it's out of my brief today, though not out of my brief in practical days. But since I've not dealt into the IBC code today, let's keep this for another day. But issue of attachment under, as I have discussed, there's a provisional attachment, then the attachment is upheld under Section 8 by the authority, and then it has to go for a pending investigation or ultimately before a court of law, which is the Sessions Court.
Dr. Chandra Kishore is asking, is there any journal which mentions money laundering cases?
I have checked in the Delhi High Court library and also the stores, not very effective. So the best way is SCC and Anupatra and keeping a look on the news.
So, all right, ma'am, we can end this session now.
Right.
Thank you so much for this information.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone.
I hope I've been able to do a little justice by giving some light. So thank you.
You have missed few things like political connections and everything.
The matter is sub judice. As again, I am saying that the matter is sub judice. So as lawyers, the best we can do is not go into all that.
All right, Devshri, can you please end the recording?